Hello traders, good morning. Welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris Forsick from Elite Currency. Let's take a look at what to expect for November 2022. On the charts, of course, with the euro dollar first of all. This is the weekly chart, and we're looking at a very strong downtrend for almost 2 years, I guess now, or yeah, more than 2 years perhaps. Looking at the end of 2020, price started to top out here and make a downtrend, and has been in that downtrend ever since. So if we take a fib on that first wave, you can see that this is looking at a very strong wave 3, went beyond the minus 261.8 Fibonacci target of this first wave. So this could be a wave 1, 2, and this is all wave 3. Within that wave 3, red wave 3, we're looking at the extension with many waves, and we could be easily looking at, for instance, this being a wave 3 of 3. And I think we're looking at a minor wave 4 Elliott Wave pattern here for a continuation later on for wave 5 of a wave 3. Okay, so I don't think that the wave 3 is yet completed. It could be. In that case, we would need to put the fib on this swing instead of the previous one, and we were looking at a retracement to the 23.6 or 38.2 fib. So whether it's going to be this fib or this fib, we'll have to see what type of wave 4 retracement it could be. Both are possible, and will depend a little bit on how long and how complicated and how deep this retracement goes. So for instance, if this is a wave 4, let's put it actually here. If this is a wave 4 of this type, this would be wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it should stay below 101.65. Whereas if it's a wave 4 of this degree, then we could see that easily could go up to 101.80, if not 105.80. Okay. So also the length of a wave 4 will say something. If this goes on for a couple of months, this is a wave 4 of this degree. Whereas if it's a couple of weeks, I would say it's a wave 4 of this degree. Even up to the end of this year, it could be a wave 4 of this degree. Whereas if it goes beyond next year, I would say it's rather leading towards a wave 4 of this degree. In both cases, we're looking at a wave 4 probably, and we would expect that to continue in a wave 5. So if we scale out here to zoom out to the monthly chart, we would be expecting a shallow push up, max, let's say 105 probably, and then move down towards 090 and maybe even lower towards 085. It depends. If this is a wave 4 of a lower time frame, we could have another wave 5 of 3 and another wave 4, 5. So we could have easily 2, 3, 4 lower lows, which could push down to that 85 level and the previous bottom down in here. Whereas if it's a wave 4 of a higher scale, maybe the stopping point would be 090. So let's see, that will impact the target as well. But generally speaking, on this monthly chart, we're looking at a big ABC down, I think, or perhaps WXY as well, a complex correction. I mean, if we look at this, this could be easily a wave A, and this is maybe some kind of wave B, a triangle pattern followed by a wave C, for instance, and then an ABC up. This could be W, this X, and then again an ABC down for Y, for instance. Doesn't really matter at this moment, I think, but we could put a target like this on this fib. Sorry. And we can see that some other targets are lining up at 95 and down at 87. Okay, now let's zoom into the daily chart. We can see that we had an ABC up in this case, and for our chart, you can see we had up, down, up. That looks like an ABC. I think we're looking now at an ABC down and then maybe a 5-wave pattern up to finish a flat kind of correction, ABC correction here, ABC within blue A, ABC down within blue B, and then a 5-wave up for blue C, for instance. That could finish either just below this top or at the top or just above the top, really, and find its resistance somewhere between, I would say, probably this zone for the moment, which is parity and 102. So I'm expecting price to maybe move up into the parity level, then move down again, find support somewhere in this zone. Sorry, that should be blue. and we'll make a 5-wave pattern up in that zone, and then bounce again, back down again. So yes, that might seem a little bit complicated, but that's typical for wave 4, where you get a lot of zigzags and corrections. So small range here for this year, and then probably the downtrend continuation. If it goes into next year, then we're looking maybe at a bigger, more expanded wave 4 and even more complex wave 4. We'll discuss that either in the December video or in the January 2023 video when it's the time to review that. For the moment, I think this simple ABC has probably the better odds, and then a downtrend continuation could emerge from this resistance zone, and I would expect to push down, followed by maybe a correction and then continuation lower, falling down to these round levels at 0925 and 0900 and maybe below. That's all I have to share for the euro dollar at the moment. Let's move on to the pound dollar, and we see that the pound also in a excuse me, in wave 1, 2, 3 reached the minus 261.8 target, reached this minus 27.2 target. I'll show you of this fib here on the monthly chart. This is looking like a wave 1, 2, 3, big wave 4. This is looking like a wave 5 at the moment, and within wave 5 we're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4 probably, and 5 of that 5. So one more lower low possible at parity maybe, for instance. Certainly a big bounce at this zone of these targets. Made it all the way up to the 38.2 fib. And if we zoom in, it looks like an ABC pattern. I actually had earlier this week, I had it as a 5-wave pattern up. That's because I was looking at the 4-hour chart, and it looked a little bit like it was making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I thought it could be a wave A of a zigzag. However, I think about it more deeply now. A zigzag is not really that typical within a wave 4. It's not impossible. It could be, but maybe on this daily chart it looks more simpler as a wave ABC of wave 4, then maybe an ABC down, and then again a 5-wave up to finish that wave 4, just like with the euro dollar. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down for 5. So something like that, kind of the same pattern expecting here with a 3-wave up, 5-wave up, 3-wave down, 5-wave up, and then again a down right here. If price were to, because there is some kind of bull flag pattern, I don't think it is a bull flag pattern, because I think it's the 38.2 fib resistance is a little bit too tough for price to break above that. But if it were to do that, then I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of rising wedge pattern play out here. And if it does break above that bull flag, I think it's going to be capped quite quickly at 117.50 and find resistance there, and then move to the downside in this rising wedge pattern. But I don't think this bull flag will break to the upside. If it does, it could be easy. Also, it could be a false break. I anticipate more of a downward break in my view. And if we put a fib from here to here, we can see that it could break down to the 23, maybe make a flag and fall to the 38 as a wave A, then make a move up wave B, and then make the fall down to wave C. All in all, that ABC down could finish in these deeper fibs, after which 5-wave pattern up could emerge at any of these fibs, but maybe even the previous bottom. But I think in this case, maybe the 61.8 or probably the 78.6 fibs seem more likely bouncing spots in my view. Now, if it were to do something totally different and it starts breaking above 117.50, 118, then I would be viewing this a little bit differently. In that case, we got space up to the 50 fib at 120, first of all. In that case, uptrend is continuing on the lower time frames, and the flow momentum is up, not down. And in that case, if it goes up to the 50 fib at 120, well, it could still be a wave 4, but I would certainly need to see a very strong reaction at 120 to make me still trust this wave 4 analysis. And if it breaks above 120, that would certainly change perspectives. And this is, in that case, not a wave 4 anymore, in my view. A break that aggressively above the 50 fib would make it a bullish analysis, in my view, and not anymore a bearish one. All right, so that's it, I guess. My 2 cents. We'll be back next week. Also, there will be an update on the performance in a separate video. Please check it out how our performance was in our systems in October. And that video will discuss everything, just like the article on Elite Currency website. Wish everyone great trading and see you soon. Cheers.